Hey guys, my name is Lauren Paul. I am the owner of LA Marketing Productions and Lauren Paul Photography. We have been interviewing small business owners in Tulsa this week, and right now we're getting ready to talk to Whitney. Whitney, tell us about your business that you own.
Hi, my name's Whitney, and I am a physical therapist with a specialty in women's health. I own Balanced Pelvic Health and Physical Therapy. I also have some presence online and on social media where I try to help women beyond just locally. So you can find me there as the pelvic mechanic.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So is this something that you always saw yourself doing, or was it something that just kind of fell into your lap? Because what you do is very unique. It's not necessarily just physical therapy. You have that, focus on the women's health part. So how did that come about?
Sure. Yeah. A lot of people don't even know that pelvic floor physical therapy exists. A lot of people, when they finally find their way to my clinic doors, they still don't know what it is or why they're there exactly. So I got into the pelvic floor specialty after having my own pelvic floor dysfunction after I had my second baby. Specifically, and when I tried to get back into being really active, going back to the exercise program that I loved, I found that I couldn't do that anymore without having stress incontinence, which is leaking urine with like jumping, laughing, and sneezing. And I knew a little bit more about it because one of my best friends from PT school went straight into pelvic floor physical therapy. And so I think I knew a little bit more than some, just being exposed to it through her. And after kind of rehabbing my own self after my own postpartum issues, it just kind of clicked one day that it really interests me. And I think one of the reasons I felt passionate about this area was because a lot of women don't know, like I mentioned, don't know that it exists. A lot of women think that leaking urine after you have a baby is just part of having a baby. And so I found myself kind of all over social media commenting on mom Facebook groups. No, there's help out there. You can get help for that. And then I realized, maybe I would like to do that. Maybe I'd enjoy being specializing in this. So I took the training courses, and I've been doing it about 6 years. And it's definitely, I believe, my calling and where I'm supposed to be in my career. It's really rewarding. I don't treat just stress incontinence. I know I'm talking about that because that's what I went through, but there's a lot of things that women go through in the postpartum period. I see women that have pain with intercourse. I see women with back pain, hip pain, tailbone pain after an injury with delivery. There's just so many things that can really limit a new mom after she, is so focused on our baby. So it's hard for moms to kind of focus on them. And so I just really love helping women kind of get back to the way they felt before they had a baby. If that's exercise or even just being able to run again, if maybe they had pain during pregnancy that limited them from running. So it's really rewarding because sometimes it can be a really quick and easy fix.
Yeah. Well, that was my next question. Was I wanted you to just talk a little bit about what is, your favorite part about what you do. So it sounds like you just really enjoy that transformation and just helping people, which I think it's a huge need, especially there's so much that we learn as moms. I have 3 kids and you have 4 kids, and there's so much that we learn in the buildup of, this is what's going to happen when you're pregnant, and this is what's going to happen when you have your baby. But then I think there's this, we hit this brick wall, and it's like, but then what? Now I have to take this baby home, and I'm experiencing all these things. And I'm starting to see more focus and more small businesses and even women just starting to support that postpartum stage even more, which is very exciting. I've actually talked to a couple people through these interviews, and I have a few more, but I think it's great what you're doing, because I agree. I think there's definitely a need for that. And just I think we're just evolving and we're learning more about that time.
Mhm.
So I definitely think it's a need. Okay, so going back to actually being like small business owner yourself, you recently you took the leap from working, doing your services in the hospital to actually branching off by yourself, and now you're in your own space, with your partner, and so tell us about making that decision as a small business owner, and what that leap of faith was like.
It took a while to finally get the courage to do it, for sure. It's a scary transition. There's a lot of things to figure out. But I just knew, enough doors open for me at the right time that I just felt like it was kind of now or never.
Mhm.
And I didn't really have anything to lose. So opening my own practice has given me, I feel like it's given me the freedom to really provide the absolute best care I can, because I can spend an hour and a half with my clients if I want to versus 45 minutes because I I don't work under a big corporation that, has to meet a certain number
Mhm.
um, of clients a day. So it's just really allowed me to give better one-on-one care, better follow-up. Um, and then another really important thing for me to finally do it is that I wanted to have more time to do more education and more preventative care. So um, sharing more like on social media, for example, so that I can hopefully help women before they have babies learn how to prevent pelvic floor dysfunction.
Right.
And those are things that I just didn't have time in the hospital setting to do, that now I'm able to kind of plan as part of my day. So it was just that it was the right timing and I knew I had to do it and I didn't really have anything to lose. And it's been really awesome. I've loved it. It's
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so leading into that, because now you're, now you're really into like owning your business, and there's so much that goes into that, so many pros and cons, but you're also a mom and you're also a wife, and then you're a small business owner, and you are super, super busy. And so tell us about finding balance in life whenever you're having to juggle all of those things.
well, it's not easy, but I guess I will say that being a small business owner, um, although it's a huge responsibility and a lot of loose ends, um, being a business owner and being your own boss also leaves a lot of flexibility for being a mom and a wife, and blocking out that hour at 2 o'clock to go to a Valentine's Day party, or take spring break week off without having to get it approved. So although it's challenging time wise and juggling it all, it definitely provides a degree of flexibility when it comes to being a mom. I mean, I even, my older kids can come to my office and sit in the conference room and you would never know they were there.
Right.
So it, in terms of balancing it all, you just make it work.
Yeah.
You just find a way. It's
Yeah.
not always easy, and I'm definitely still learning, but I think there's a degree of freedom
Yeah.
owning your own business and being your own boss when it comes to also having a family and kids.
Well, and I think you realize that, owning your own business, it means working all the time, but also working when you want to. And as
Hmm.
much as you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. And
Hmm.
getting out of the idea that it's not 9 to 5, it's 24/7. And but being able to take those chunks of time to go to your kids' parties or to take a vacation or things like that. But you have to sometimes take that piece and put it somewhere else in that work order so that you can
Hmm.
make up for that time. So It is. It's tricky. It's a job in itself, just managing time whenever you're a small business owner and a mom and a wife, and doing all the things that you do.
Mhm.
Okay, so during this time, quarantine time, a lot of people are turning to social media, and you've launched your Rise method. So tell us a little bit about the Rise method and the Facebook group that you started and the videos that you're doing in that group.
So the RISE method is a unique postpartum rehab program that I created based on my PT educational background is a little bit unique. In the school I went, we learned a certain way to diagnose physical therapy conditions. And it's all about movement and movement impairments. And I've combined that with my own personal experience with postpartum issues, and kind of used myself as a guinea pig after I had my twins and I had a diastasis recti, or a separation of your abdominal wall. So I kind of put it all together, and I started seeing some really unique things and common patterns in women that were postpartum. It would take me too long to get into it all, but I basically created a really unique program for women. And I've been talking about it on Instagram for a long time, and women are always saying, do you have it online? Is there an online program? And I say, maybe someday. And I actually filmed the videos a year ago and just haven't really put it together and had motivation to get it out there until the quarantine happened. And I wasn't able to do my local class, which I do. So I started a Facebook group, which was the RISE method is the Facebook group. And it was, my plan was to introduce women to the program by doing a kind of a 7-day challenge where I kind of teach you all the phases of it and what it's about. And then I'm going to launch the online program hopefully really soon. My goal is Friday, but I have a lot of work to do to get that up and running. So it's going to be just a online postpartum recovery program. And it's unique because it helps you identify your own personal unique, what I call missing links that may be limiting you. I really don't feel that I don't feel that postpartum rehab is one size fits all. I think a lot of women, have maybe tried a core program here or there, or doing Kegels, and they're not getting the results they need. And I feel like it's because there's something personal to you that's limiting you from recovering. And the RISE method is all about identifying your own personal issue or movement impairment, or that is limiting your recovery. So it's unique in that it's not one size fits all. And it kind of helps you figure out what's limiting you from reaching your goals postpartum.
So when you say postpartum, does that mean like what is that time span? Because like if somebody had a baby, a couple weeks ago, is that when it's a good time to start? Or what if they're 12 months postpartum, or I'm like 3 years postpartum? So what is that postpartum time span?
It's a really good question. And my favorite phrase is once postpartum, always postpartum.
Okay.
So you can start it 4 to 6 weeks postpartum.
Okay.
And you can get benefits from it, even if your baby's 15. I mean, I even had a woman in my first session locally that, her youngest child was 30. So it's geared towards postpartum, but it will really help anyone with any kind of back pain, hip pain, pelvic pain, pelvic floor dysfunction, diastasis recti. So even if your baby's 3, you can still benefit
from
it.
Do it. Yeah. That's awesome. Okay, so tell us, how can people find you? We've talked a lot about Facebook. What are some of the other ways that people can find you and learn more about your services?
So my website is a really good place to start. It's www.thepelvicmechanic.com. You can find me as the Pelvic Mechanic on Instagram and Facebook. If you search that, it'll pop up as well. And then my Facebook page is Dr. Whitney M. Ellsworth. DPT, but if you look it up under at the pelvic mechanic, it's connected there too.
Okay, perfect. And I will link all of the social media pages and the website and all of that good stuff whenever I post the video so that people can find you. I think that's it. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye.